Well, hey folks, Species 7 here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me here today on what is a rather, well, special occasion. This is my last YouTube video. I have announced back in December that come the 27th of March, my 65th birthday, I would be retiring from YouTube. And, well, I am staying with that. It's been about 10 years or so. Oops. Ooh, cleaning my bow and it went off. Let's not stay there. I'm bound to shoot one of my own dudes. But, yeah, I announced back in December that I would be retiring. After 10 years on the platform, I find that it's gone from something I enjoyed doing immensely to something I almost feel like I have some sort of a commitment to do. And between the incredible changes to the gaming industry since I first started doing gaming videos, and of course the, well, don't need to tell anybody about the amount of changes that YouTube has undergone in the last 10 years until it's reached a point where it's basically, you know, it's not about content creators, it's about influencers. And it's not about regular posting and, you know, decent quality videos. It's about advertising and hype. Kind of like the games industry is these days, unfortunately. You know, when I started, you would go to your local retailer and buy a hard copy of the disc of the game that you wanted to play and head on from there. Odds are there would be bugs in it. Some of them even had game-altering bugs that, you know, basically made it unplayable. But quite frankly, early access and YouTube has ruined more games than it's helped. In my opinion, you know, a lot of games, by the time they're released, no one has an interest in, because people have played hundreds of hours of YouTube footage of pre-releases and alphas and early accesses and you name it, you know. And game developers are pretty much as much to blame as content creators. Sorry, whatever you want to call them now, influencers, you know, because they'll hand out keys to early access to creators, and yeah, you know, not thinking that, yeah, it's nice to have this little influx of money now as I generate interest, but a lot of people won't touch early access titles, and for good reason. I'm sure that just like all of you, you have a list of what you had hoped were games with great potential that you'll never play because they were, you know, released into early access and made a little bit of money and then the developer ran away. So, yeah, it's never going to go anywhere. The other thing, of course, is that, well, I had some fairly major surgeries a couple of years ago, and they never really fixed the issue. They just made it tolerable for a little while longer. So I do find I'm running into a little bit on the end of health issues, and don't really think that that's appropriate for what I'm doing here. You know, I know a lot of YouTubers will basically take advantage of things like that to garner more views. I'd just as soon be remembered on YouTube as that guy that was quite often compared, for some weird reason, to Bob Ross. And, you know, never put a super big effort in, but didn't go nuts and didn't swear, and, you know what I mean? Just basically had a pretty decently family-oriented channel. But, nonetheless, as I said, I have decided that I'm going to have to call her a day. So, To all of you that have stuck with me over the years, and there are a few of you who, yeah, you kind of been with the channel since it started, a huge thanks. Not only for your support of the channel, but in all honesty, I am such a, well, introvert of a person with the social skills of, you know, basically a honey badger. This was my big outlet. You know, to be able to sit down every day, and even if the conversation is one-sided for the most part, was to sit down every day and have a conversation. You know, that's what I'm going to miss about YouTube. Not the ridiculous ad policies that don't even allow me anymore to try and give people a break on the advertisements, you know. Not the gaming, because you can play games whether you record them for YouTube or not. And in fact, I know darn well my gaming experience is going to do naught but improve. Because so many games I have stopped playing as much as I liked them because they just didn't do well on the channel. You know? I was gifted Baldur's Gate 3. I played some of it, enjoyed the heck out of it, but because, again, developers handing out keys to thousands, literally, of YouTubers, the game had been played to death by the time I got a hold of it. So it didn't do well on the channel, and I wasn't able to play it. I'm going to go back now and play every inch of it. You know, same thing. I'm one of the few people that enjoyed Bethesda's latest space RPG. You all know what I'm talking about. I plan on playing it through. You know, there's a bunch of them like that have sat in my library unplayed because they weren't suitable for the channel, and I've always had to consider that the amount of time that I can game had to be devoted to YouTube. So, but as I said, it is coming to a close. A big shout out again, all of the viewers, to new viewers who have, you know, discovered some of my newer content like Vintage Story and sometimes the release of indie games, which I've always enjoyed because they tend to do a better job than AAA titles. And, well, excuse me, you don't have to put in the hours watching nothing but high production cutscenes when you'd rather be playing a game. So I've always been a fan of indie titles, and I've always been, you know, happy and proud to bring them to you guys on the channel. So, to the viewers who were here for that, I do thank you. We've seen a lot of really cool games together. And I am leaving the platform, but keep in mind, I have literally thousands of videos on the YouTube platform. And I imagine YouTube will keep them around for a while, you know. But, to those of you thinking of getting into YouTube, at least as I have, as a sort of a, you know, a gaming person in YouTube, there's a lot of things that kind of lie behind the lines, you know. Like one thing that I wasn't aware of when I started getting monetized was that Google takes 30% in taxes. Yeah. Even on a channel like mine where, you know, on average, maybe $20 a month is what I earn. It's not what I get. You don't get anything until you earn $100. But, for instance, now, they pay out in American money, which is, you know, worth more than Canadian money. So there's always an exchange rate. And it should happen if I'm being paid in American that I get more Canadian. My last payout, I'd earned $136. That took 3.5 months. I was paid $94. Even though 136 US is more like 160 or 170 in Canadian, yeah. I was paid $94 and it resets to 0. So, something to keep in mind. Unless you are lucky enough to hit one of these viral things where all of a sudden you're just the darling of YouTube, it's not what all the Gen Zs think that dream of being influencers. If you want to, do crazy stunts and yell at people and be generally disruptive and ignorant, you can probably make good money. If you're any sort of a decent human being, you probably won't. This is what I'm sort of coming to with this. But anyway, yeah, this is the curtain call, my last hurrah. And thank you to all of you for allowing me the social outlet that has been YouTube for all of these years. I hope you all do super, super well, that you manage to make your way through the weird world that we now find ourselves in. Stay true to yourselves. Don't believe the hype. And don't forget to, it's never too late to start being nice to people. It takes as much effort to be nice to someone as it does to just be a lippy little dick and, all of those sort of things. So, with that, my friends, I wish you all the best. I thank you all for your support over the years. And, well, as I always say, take care of each other, folks. No one else will. And ciao.